And welcome, guys and girls, to this very special event celebrating Robotech's 40th anniversary, the Robo Turns 4-0 No Travel Required Baby Anniversary Tour. I am your host, John, known in JT and other places, but going by just John now. I want to thank everybody who's joining us here live on the live stream. And we're going to have some fun tonight because it is indeed a special night celebrating Robotech's 40th anniversary. We had quite a few of these events, and this is one that we've been talking about for almost a year. And I think we can just get into it with Robotech, the role-playing game, a new era of possibilities. For many years, including myself amongst those fans, have been asking for more Robotech, new Robotech, and especially more Sentinels. And tonight, you're going to get all that and then some. If I can just stop the music. It never fails. It never fails. All right, there we go. All right, let's start from the current slide. Once again, I want to thank everybody who's joining us here live and in living color. You guys that are here right now are going to get a lot of special stuff. But those that are going to be watching us afterwards, you're going to get some special stuff as well. So, I just want to introduce myself again. My name is John. Some people know me as JT from podcast in the past, but just going by just John now. I am the administrator of the Facebook pages Robotech Novels Universe and Robotech Stories, also the administrator of Robotech The Legacy, exclusive home of the Crazy 8 Squadron. And I'm just like the people who are gathered here watching this. I'm a Robotech fan since 1985. Been up and down the line when it comes to this franchise. Those that know me well know I'm a big novels fan, but I love celebrating all aspects of the Robotech franchise, the Robotech lore. I basically have the way I look at it is the phrase, it's all canon. Whether you're a fan of the show, whether you're a fan of the comics, whether you're a fan of the novels, whether you're a fan of the subject tonight, the RPGs, however you want to love Robotech and however you want to see the story, that's okay. Because that's what it's all about. Don't be chained down by canon police or gatekeepers. The true Robotech story lies within each one of us. So tonight, as the title says, Robotech, the role-playing game, a new era of possibilities. We're gonna talk about the past, the present, and the future. So the guys and girls watching us tonight we're gonna be doing a little bit of time traveling. So let me get the legal stuff out of the way. This is a fan-produced presentation. It's a non-commercial tribute to the Robotech franchise and its creative legacy. Robotech and all related trademarks, characters, artwork, and music are the property of Harmony Gold USA. All music, images, and video clips used herein are for nonprofit, educational, and entertainment purposes under the Fair Use Doctrine of Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Act. No infringement is intended. This event exists solely to honor and celebrate Robotech, its fandom, and not even its 40 years of storytelling. Now, I did say this during the waiting period before our live feed started. Please do not leave this after we end the live feed here. To those present, as a thank you for joining us, you will get to see material not slated to be shared elsewhere for the foreseeable future in terms of the Robotech RPG. And if you're here in the room, we will be periodically putting a link that Justin Grulke from Strange Machine Games has provided us as a thank you for joining us tonight. It is a link to download a PDF copy of Robotech, the Robotech RPG book Homefront, which is the latest book out, which covers the Master Saga and the new generation. That's just a thank you from Justin for joining us tonight, and we're gonna have some fun. Now, I did want to before I get into the actual RPG material. If you guys were here the last live event, the Battle Royale, I threw out some thanks and I also threw out some apologies to a couple of the guys that join us here in terms of prizes that they were due from all the way back in, I believe, April, which we had the Golden Global Awards. If you haven't watched that, go to YouTube. That's almost 3 hours. Robotech's I think it's first and only awards show. So, and in that we had some contests, and there were a couple of people that hadn't received their stuff yet because I hadn't made it to the post office for international shipping. I am happy to say that finally their boxes went out this week, and that's the back of Skull One. That's my car in Max Sterling blue. But Justin and Geith, your packages are on the way. I did DM you through Facebook the tracking numbers. Again, my humble and always apologies, but your stuff is on the way. So thank you for being so patient. And with that, let's get into the subject that we are all here for, and that is the Robotech role-playing games. And before we hop into what's going on and what will be going on, let's go back to the then. And that, of course, is the Palladium years of Robotech. I don't know if any of you have been a fan since 1985, but I can tell you that when I saw that first advertisement, and I don't remember the comic book, but when I saw that first advertisement for Robotech, the role-playing game, I flipped. We're at that time it was dominated by Dungeons and Dragons and fantasy games. Robotech had now stepped into a new space. And this was actually before the novels. The novels came out in 87, and the RPGs came out. The first RPG came out in 86. And from there, it spawned tons of books, which I've put some of them here. The first three core books, the role-playing game book, the Southern Cross, Innovation, and Palladium did touch upon the Sentinels, and they had a number of supplemental guides, such as New World Order, the RAF Field Guide, which was one of my favorites from those years. And then they came back in the, I want to say, in the 2010s with some new books, updated books for each one of the generations, and also a few source books, which this one was for um, the Expeditionary Force Marine source book. So it was, you could say, a Sentinel's supplemental. So, and I'm not going to get into how it ended for Palladium. That's an entirely different discussion, but no doubt that the Palladium years provided and still keep providing hours and hours of gaming for those out there who are diehard. Over the years, I've gotten to meet a lot of people who swear by these books and share some incredible campaigns that they created with those. Now, when it comes from Palladium, we move to the now, and a company by the name of Strange Machine Games, which they also produce role-playing games. They took over the license for Robotech in terms of a role-playing game, and with their first book, the Macross Saga, which covered, of course, Robotech's first act, the battle between the Robotech Defense Force and the alien armada known as the Zentradi. Now, the first difference in these books compared to Palladium is that they were all in color, and you got to see the art. A lot of the art that was done for this book was done by a gentleman by the name of Francisco Echart. Big shout out to him, because he has belted out for this new generation of Robotech books some sensational art, and it's really, the visuals are great, and not just what's this called, not just in what we know, but much beyond that. Because for me, the Robotech RPGs from Strange Machine Games uh, are not just a game; it's also a an expansion of the Robotech lore, because they go into such great detail in certain parts of the Robotech story where you don't see. It's not on the show. Uh, and I'll talk to this and Justin in our interview in just a little bit. Just they pulled stuff from different sources, and they paid homage to all the stories that came before them, especially the comics and the novels. And another look with some of the other stuff from the Macross saga book, just really great in details. Lang is a personal one of my favorites, and he got his due in this book also. So this was 2019. We jump over to 2022 and a Kickstarter campaign. And please, in our interview, Justin, please correct me if I'm wrong with the dates. In 2022, a Kickstarter was done for the next book in this series, and of course, it was going to deal with the next acts of Robotech, and it's the book that we've been giving away tonight, and that is Robotech Homefront, covering the next two generations, the Master Saga and the new generation of Robotech. You get to see what's this called? All the mech, all the characters. Of course, you can't have the Master Saga without one Anatole Leonard, the Regis, the the Cyclones, the Invid, the Biroids, hover tanks. I'm just sharing just some of this book. And for those that got it tonight, you're gonna love it. It's so much stuff. And again, not just gaming, but also lore. Some other stuff here from the what's this called, the from the Homefront book. You get a lot of new mech, and damn it if I forgot to put the the slide for this one, because I don't think it's coming. uh and they made this Robotech fan's dream come true, because over the years I've kind of seen the Veritech fighter, the original one, in a different way. Instead of a modified F-14, uh I see it as the A-10 Thunderbolt. And wouldn't you know that Homefront has a version modeled after the A-10 known as the Thunderstrike. And I thought I had that slide here, and I don't. So, but you'll see it in the book. So, beyond Homefront, they ventured into the supplemental campaign book, and that was Hannibal, the Hannibal campaign. And the Hannibal campaign offered various with what you had from Homefront, and carried it on to Hannibal. You actually got new characters that you could work with, original campaign scenarios, some schematics, as you see here, of different weaponry, and just really a great compliment to the Homefront book. Now, in terms of availability, Homefront is available on Amazon. For those again here tonight, you got your free copy. Uh, if you dig, if you know if for the actual physical books, I know Amazon does have Homefront. Hannibal and the Macross Saga, you're going to need to search a little bit, but there are places out there that do sell them, and they are available digital. I think one of the places that it's available is Drive Through RPG. That's a place where they have lots of the what's this called, digital versions of these books. So this up till now,
Real
the
quick,
go ahead.
JT. So physical copies are all available from because so we just received in a new printing of Robotech the Macross Saga and Hannibal. So physical copies are available via the Strange Machine Games website, and our distributors at Amazon should have them within the next couple months. They're kind of going through their own internal things, but yeah, physical copies of all the books are now well and truly available again.
You guys heard it here first. First, live and in living color. The books are available, so check it out at Strange Machines website. I don't know the exact address, but just Google it and you will find the books there. Thank you, Justin, for that update. Okay, so we've talked about the past. We've talked about the of what's going on right now. Let's talk about what's to come. And Strange Machine Games, with the success of both the Macross Saga and Homefront, have gone into the one place that a lot of people have been clamoring for, and that is Robotech 2 The Sentinels. And the upcoming book for that is Among the Stars. And after another successful Kickstarter campaign, they are working diligently on bringing this book out. Here and there, they have shared some previews. Here you have some of the Sentinels characters, including the Spherian, the Garudin, the Praxian, the Carbaran, T.R. Edwards, the SDF-3, and the Hellcat, and a variation of, I want to say, an Invid shock trooper. So, but yeah,
Yes,
that would
that
be
is
it.
the
Okay.
Black Death Destroyer Shock Trooper.
Oh, there you go. At least I got half of it right. And a couple of events ago, I believe this was in the Robotech, I don't know if it was the Golden Globals or the Master Saga live event. We shared a worldwide premiere of work in progress sketches of what they're doing with the Sentinels. And you've got characters here, Jonathan Wolf, I believe you have Jack Baker, Karen Penn, uh, Tesla from the Sentinel. I mean, this was a premiere, and I remember that night, and people were just eyes were bugging out, looking at of what is to come for Robotech, and we're gonna get to talk about that more in just a little bit. So we've got Among the Stars, but what about and beyond that? Well, I can tell you guys right now, there is a beyond that. And uh, as I said at the beginning of when we first got into the Zoom room, fans have been clamoring for more Robotech, more Sentinels, and new Robotech. Guys, that is what we are going to get tonight, because our special guest co-host, uh, live from Australia, part of the amazing team at Strange Machine Games, the Thunder from Down Under. Robin could not beat him as a wonder. He is more reliable than a plumber's plunger. And he is a man that is so daring, so brave, that he will stand in 120-degree weather with a jacket on and say, "It's chilly." Guys and girls, give a big round of applause to, straight from Strange Machine Games, Mr. Justin Grulke.
Yay! We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Justin,
Huge.
thank you for being a part of this. Thank you. Thank you for creating this magic along with the team over at Strange Machine Games. Here's my first question. With the exit of Palladium from the Robotech, let me just stop sharing this and get back with you guys. All right, there we go. All right, with the exit of Palladium from the Robotech role-playing game books, how did this all happen with Strange Machine Games, if you can share?
So, something to bear in mind is I came in a little bit later into the project and into the company. Uh, but what my boss, the owner of the company, tells me, they were at a convention, and they had a very long drive back, about an 8-hour drive, back home. after it was done. And they had started an idea of, they're game designers, and I do the same thing when I'm with them. They just started like designing stuff, and they were like, "Oh, we've got an idea for a system for like an anime mecha um, game," and they put together a lot of the systems, and when they got back, they just found out that the license was available. They just found out about the Harmony Gold taking it from uh Palladium. So they immediately jumped on it because they were fans of Robotech. They're like, yeah, this is really cool, and we literally just built something that's perfect and beautiful for it. And then if we get the license, we can take it even further. We can do this stuff. We can bring in the drama mechanics. We can escalate this. And so they had this vision for a game, and when they grabbed Robotech, they took that vision and they said, all right, let's really, really build this vision that we had for Robotech exclusively. So they went in there and they drafted the initial system, which had a lot of back and forth. There was a lot of interesting feedback to it, which caused it to change shape a couple of times. But yeah, they were immensely proud of wanting to build something exclusively for Robotech off the basis of what they had already been thinking about. So yeah, and that's how they got it. We almost didn't. Fun fact, there were some other fun competitors, one of which included Catalyst Games, I believe. Though who
Whoa.
exactly was bidding is not exactly public. That's just a we believe based on what we were kind of told, which is like stuff, like without prejudice. Uh, yeah.
Awesome. Now, game mechanics aside, what um what was the most important thing for you and the team to how did you want to differ differentiate yourselves from the past generation of the RPG?
So there were two to three different goals. Um, and these kind of formed as I came in and started writing and then eventually took management of the whole project. And the first goal was mechanics wise. We wanted something that would be easier to engage with. It's very narrative, it's very cinematic. But it's something that anyone who's not an RPG fan but just wants to play some Robotech can figure out and learn in a couple hours, maybe a few minutes if they're cluing into some of the language. And but you could spend months to years mastering because it's still got all those lovely things that gamers want. It actually has quite a lot of tactical nuance and crunch to it. There is quite a number of things you can do that's in depth, but we wanted it to be easy to engage with from the first step. So, and the big part of that was we knew Palladium existed. We knew people loved the Palladium version, but we knew a lot of people didn't. And so we had the mindset of you still have Palladium. No one's taking that away from you. So what we want to do is we want to make a new Robotech for all the people who don't enjoy that so that they have a different experience. And so the idea was let's cater to everyone by saying you have Palladium, you like that. Go on, have fun with that. We don't care. We love Robotech. Go, we played it ourselves. Have fun with that. And then here is for the people who didn't enjoy that. Here's a different experience. Here's a different experience for Robotech that we built for the ground up for it. You might like it, you might not, but it's built around for the people who enjoy this kind of game. And that was one goal. The second goal that differentiates the Strange Machine games was we put an emphasis right from the very beginning of what we wanted to do is we wanted to make this not a straight up, hey, look, you're a gamer, buy this. We wanted to make it, no, 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 you're a Robotech fan, buy this. Because this, as our goal was, and our mission statement was, we wanted to work with Harmony Gold to create a unified Robotech universe that was all-encompassing, that took the best of Robotech and gave people one definitive source to consult that covered everything, that was compliant with Harmony Gold's current vision, and now their vision will change in the future. But we wanted something that we want, even if it's the last thing we kind of do, if we don't get the license ever again, we wanted to leave the fans with a complete whole product that people could be proud of and had everything they needed. Um, and that leads to the third goal, where we wanted to make sure that we took everything from Robotech. Taking the best of everything was a huge thing because we wanted to be in the realm of there are people who've come before us. Some of them did great work. Some of it is aged poorly. Some of it, though, just needs a little love and care and update. Couple of updates to the ideas, the executions of these ideas, and they still work, and it's all Robotech. And people love those ideas. There's no reason to throw the baby out with the bathwater. So it was really important that we make sure that we cover and address everything from all the sources, that we consult and be a holistic version of Robotech. And yes, we've inserted things along the way of our own. We've had to do a lot of expansion to fill in the gaps, but it was the goal of this is must be a holistic product, a holistic vision of Robotech. So those were our three goals.
And I think you guys hit them personally, just so you know. Um, now I got to talk about the art because this, the three books that are out are just, amazing. I know a lot of it has been done by Francisco Echart. Big shout out to him again. Uh, I can only imagine uh, that it was tough choosing what would go into the book, into the books. Uh, was it hard? Was it hard? Because he's an amazing and talented artist with what we've seen, and I'm sure stuff got left on the cutting room floor.
Um, is it hard to pick art for a Robotech book? Absolutely. Like, oh my God, you guys cannot imagine the stress I have as the art director. Like, just there's so many things. We allow backers at our Kickstarters to buy art to actually dictate what art goes in the book. A lot of the whole pages in Homefront, were bought and paid for by fans who told us, "Hey, we want to see X." And fans order, and it's the same in Among the Stars, where people ordered four times the amount of art. So it's no wonder this book's going to take a while for Among the Stars, and no wonder Fran desperately doesn't like me anymore, especially when I have to ask him to redraw the SDF-3 dildo ship four times. Um, so you've got that, and it's yeah, there's things on the cutting room floor. Like half the so I actually put my own money into these books. Just fun fact, like not the company's money, my own personal money. I buy art pages as well, and I buy additional art. And the true problem is I want more art than we can realistically afford. So I actually go into my personal savings, and it's such a stressful thing because we've got all this art that people order, and people order some insane shit. If I told you the list of things that people had asked for Among the Stars, you'd be laughing. But it's really cool stuff. It's just like, wow, you wanted that, really? Um, but then what happens during the process is we're like, oh crap, we have 3 pages of blank space. We need to suddenly change what we've asked for, so that we don't have something like that. And it's happened a lot. I mean, for Homefront specifically, every art page that uh, I purchased personally and a couple of other people purchased had to be changed midway through because we were just like, oh no, we need this thing is more important than what we wanted. And that's the emphasis that we really have when we're making these books for art. It's always what is the most important thing to show versus what's really cool. And then the second concern is we have to show certain things to visually convey the storytelling, specifically when we're trying to give you new Robotech. Because it's all well and good to tell a fan, hey, here's this really cool thing that exists. But I've noticed there's a certain kind of like thought process in the Robotech world where it doesn't exist if I can't visually see it. And that's where our emphasis goes to. If it's really important, you have to see it. So that's kind of what we do. And so it's incredibly stressful. You guys almost got like the Cerberus heavy hover tank. Homefront at one point didn't have any hover tanks in it, like the conventional hover tanks, because the person who was ordering the art before me didn't order any. So I took over and immediately said, "What the hell are you doing? Why do we have three alpha drones and no hover tanks?" Like it's just don't envy me, guys.
So, so for those that are asking, and we want to get it straight, one of the goals is to get it straight from the people who are working on this. Is there an ETA, a specific ETA time for Homefront to make it to the backers?
Sorry, you mean Among the Stars?
Among the Stars, I'm sorry.
Yeah. You're looking at late 2026 minimum.
Okay. Okay. So and for, thank you for explaining the process and kind of just going into what's been delaying things. So,
Yeah.
at least now
As
we
I
have,
keep
yes.
mentioning, the backers on Among the Stars ordered so much art in addition to all the other art that we pay for and get that
Mhm.
combined with Fran's busy schedule, it takes us a while to get it all. Um, it is taking him quite a while, especially when he's juggling other bigger clients. So if you want your books faster, go set fire to Mattel. Um, I do not condone arson. Don't actually do that.
Um, now, now even beyond Among the Stars, before we get into the fun stuff, um, that you have for us, uh, if you could sum it up in just a few more, if you could just sum it up in a few words, what's down the road for after Among the Stars? Just in words, not in don't
Just
show
in
us anything.
words. Okay. Um, if you think what you're looking at is the biggest expansion of Robotech lore that you've seen to date, you have not seen anything yet. There
And
is a
I've been
team.
telling I've been telling everybody that this has been the biggest leap forward for for Robotech franchise. And now you're telling me it's gonna be bigger leaps. All right. That's
That's like
I'm
a
telling
awesome.
what
marriage.
you've
Both like
seen
that.
is the first baby steps to see if it will work.
And how's been the feedback in terms of gamers? Because I know at its essence, this is a role-playing game. I know you've been at Gen Con and you've had beta testers. How's that been going for the games?
The game is an absolute pleasure to play if you know anything about RPGs. It's really smooth, it's fast, you can get a lot done. It wants the players to be very creative. Now, the feedback we get is, people who like Palladium, they struggle to move on, and that's fair. We don't mind. It's here if you want it. It's not too hard to convert the rules into Palladium. We support a Savage Worlds system as well, which there's an omnibus coming for that, where we're, give a bunch of examples, then here you'll be able to convert the rest. Um, the Savage Worlds project is a bit cursed, but that's a different, totally different topic. But it's coming now that I've taken control of it. It's coming, and then it'll have its own lifespan. Um, so the thing about the reaction is gamers are very mixed on it, and that's gamers have very strong opinions. Yeah, we cop a lot of flack from a lot of people who don't understand the system, and that does actually tend to be like 90% of when we read people's complaints. They it came to a point where we tell them, look, you don't understand it. Can we explain it to you? And they tell us, well, that's always your reaction, claiming that we don't understand it. And like, well, yeah, because you don't, because your reading comprehension is low. Or we wrote this in a really confusing way. We know, we're sorry. We're going to fix it eventually. Can we explain it to you? Because it's a lot simpler. It's a lot simpler than it sounds. And a lot of people who play the game really absolutely love it. I've never had a bad experience introducing new people. And the fun thing is, um, like some people come in, they love it. Some people come in and go, yeah, this is cool. It's not for me. I'm gonna go play the old version. We're like, cool, neat. But what's really cool is that we get a lot of new people and like new people to the whole franchise. Lots of young people, and they try it and they go, wow, this is really cool. And they absolutely love it. So, it's a mixed reaction, but we don't hear people, complaining that they want Palladium back anymore or giving us crap because a lot of people have come to acknowledge that the hard work we're putting in. Like 90% of everyone we speak to are super chill, really cool people, and it's just a pleasure to talk to. And yeah,
Present company, of course.
it was rough for the
And
first few years, but like I think people have come to accept us now, and everyone's just we're just all trying to chill and have a fun time and enjoy a game.
yeah, and I've been, I think we've known each other for what, a year and a half, and uh, the all the work that you've done, I've been able, I have followed, and I will say I'm not an RPGer, but the amount of lore that you have provided, a lot of the side stuff besides the game mechanics has been a treat to absorb because it is once again for me the biggest leap forward for the Robotech franchise in over 10 years, not just in RPG but also in storytelling. And it is it has been a pleasure and a privilege to be able to join you on this journey. And like all the other people, I'm ready for you to just show us your stuff. And for those that joined us late, I'm posting in the chat uh it's a thank you from Justin for joining us tonight. It's a link where you can download the latest RPG Homefront in PDF version. And if you haven't seen the book, or you're not an RPG fan, don't worry about it. There's enough lore there to keep you an explanation, lore, storytelling, explanations, to keep you, that if you're not a gamer like me, it's going to be fulfilling. So it is. And I want to remind everybody here once again, when we end the live stream, when I end the live stream, which is, it's stable on Facebook. Oh, it's good. Once we end, do not leave the room. I will do my usual goodbye, but do not leave the room. I'm serious. Do not leave the room. So I'm gonna hand it over now to Justin. And Justin, take it away.
Yeah.
Remember, not the After Dark stuff.
That's okay. It's all sort of
Slideshow.
yeah, it's like half cut off because of the bloody
Oh.
top bar. All right, so can you guys all see my screen?
Yep.
Yep.
In all its glory.
It's
Excellent, excellent.
amazing.
We're gonna go pretty quick here because some of it's already been covered. So we've got now and the future. So just some stuff to date. So obviously in 2019 we released Robotech: The Macross Saga, which is a 264-page book which features the core rules, the UEDF, the Zentradi, the early history and lore of the Macross Saga. Technically released in 2024, kickstarted in 2022. Robotech Homefront, 280-page book, which put together both New Generation and the Master Saga, along with a lot of new stuff. This is really where I got super involved. I was early testing on Macross Saga, and then I got involved like full writing management in Homefront. Hannibal, 119-page adventure, which was the first ever campaign produced for the SMG Robotech system, and the first ever, I'm proud to say, Robotech Masters focused adventure. Now, you've got the Macross Saga. So, here's some cool little things. There's actually something on this page that some of you might recognize from some of the comics. The Centaur hover tank down there in the corner. Um, it's a fun little nugget in there. So this first book focused on obviously the Macross Saga. It captured all the core rules. Its emphasis was to really simulate being in a real robot anime. And that is and was the driving force of the entire RPG's mandate. And it featured rules for VF1s, Tomahawks, all the really cool stuff. And then we also covered the scenarios and the story of the Macross Saga, split over 12 scenarios. We gave guidance on how to run them in the game, but also we went through the story itself and laid it all out with timeline and format and all sorts of things to let you all know, how this story comes together as a reminder, so that you don't have to always it's a lore resource that you can consult to instead of having to watch the show. And it's just so nice to read. Now, then came Homefront. So, Homefront was our second more ambitious book, right? Now, it covers the Masters and New Generation, which we were able to put together into one book. We decided we wanted it all together because we were of the realm of Robotech fans. You don't want Macross, you don't want Homefront you don't want Masters by itself, you don't want New Gen, you want all three. That was our thinking. You want all of it as a holistic, this is Robotech, not individual chunks. And like the quickest way we can give that to you, because we don't have to include core rules, was to put the two sagas together. And it had the scenario section, but in there we started doing massive world building expansions. We started covering things from comics, novels. We included new original stuff to really show how the world was alive. And then we did Hannibal, which Hannibal is my first outing solo. It was one of four different adventures that actually were pitched at the time, but we could only produce one, and we chose to produce Hannibal. And you can see here you've got these various characters which done by Fran. They were only done in black and white because Hannibal had a much lower budget. Um, and its main story focused on the elite Hannibal team, a joint exercise between the global military police and the Army of the Southern Cross in the dying days of the Second Robotech War, sent in to conduct special operations in the most dire parts of the conflict worldwide and even in space. However, the story soon escalates with the introduction of the Diva, who you can see down here is the highly effeminate man wearing the toga. Yes, that is a male character. The Diva is male. And the politics of the fallout after the end of the Second Robotech War, both internally within the UEG, but also within the Masters, with multiple sides competing, all in the looming presence of the Invid. And not to spoil anything, but there's some really cool stuff in Hannibal. Its ending is kind of really cool. It's one of my favorites. It's a great jumping off point for like thinking about your own stories. And the cast of characters I think were just a lot of fun. I think they were really cool concepts to explore. And now, what the hell is happening next? So, we've got coming here, we've got Robotech Among the Stars, which is Sentinels and Shadow Chronicle sagas, okay? So, once again, it's a split book, 2 and 2. You will see both elements in there. So that means you're getting Sentinels, you're getting Haydenites, you're getting the Invid Regent, you're getting information on the UEF Civil War, which has been drastically expanded. You're getting early colony stuff. Well, actually, you're just getting colony stuff, period. With a huge exploration about all these planets and off-worlds and different things away from Earth. And then you've got Arcadia coming, and you can see Arcadia here. Which is an anthology of 4 mini adventures. You've got Robotech Void and Fire, which is just a work of pure love and slightly spite from its author, who was not me, by the way, Thomas Ryan, good friend of mine. Very spiteful, very salty. Decided if Palladium wasn't going to give us a shit book, he'd do it himself. I told him, hey, look, forget the spite, just give us a shit book. And he was like, okay. So Void and Fire is quite a cool supplement. And then you have Uprising, which is ultimately well timed because in the middle of writing it, the Rick Hunter comic series came out. And it is well, we'll get more into it, but it's a return to Macross for people who really prefer that over anything else. So, Among the Stars, it is a complete source for everything Sentinels and Shadow Chronicles. And I mean that sincerely. It is a complete source. It has the biggest expansion of the setting. It goes well beyond the show, goes well beyond the animated content. It even goes beyond the comics and novels, and it also works to tie all of those together. It contains stuff for the United Earth Defense Forces, the Sentinels Coalition, the Invid, and the Hade Knights. It details the galaxy, the planets, and it is more than 280 pages. It is larger than Homefront. In fact, our initial estimates are going to put it at about 320.
One moment.
Then, so here we have.
Holy crap!
Yes.
Good reaction.
This is not the. Oh. This is not the full map. Down here in the corner, cut off because it couldn't fit on screen, is where Earth and more colonies are located.
Sweet Jesus.
And this map
Mother
will
Lord.
be in copies of Homefront as a full 4-panel fold-out map.
Ooh, it's one big map.
With a grid version as well for people who want to see it in grids. Each grid kind of representing like a distance jumped for hyperspace. Don't worry about it. And most importantly for this, the center point is actually Tyrol. The local group tag. And so you can see all these different planets, and they're all kind of using symbols to identify who their like official / majority owner is for some contested worlds. And you can see here we have all these. This, what you're looking at primarily, is most of the Robotech Masters Empire. There's actually more north, top of this map that's also cut off, which shows a whole other section of the Robotech Masters Empire.
Just picturing Google Maps zooming in, zooming in, zooming in.
Yeah. So there's a couple of cool things here, which you can read more about, and there's all that. We've got Hadon 4 over here. Cut off, but north of it is actually, for those of you who have read the books, is the Ranath black hole, the singularity.
Oh, Chiron? There's a epigraph in End of the Circle where Chiron wanted to lead a mission there. He didn't go there, but he wanted to because I guess it had destroyed a bunch of Zentradi ships.
Yes. It's also the same black hole where Hadon will eventually lead his Hadonites through into new space. More on that later. So, then, of course, this is the Sentinels Reborn. So you can see this new art that we've got going on here, and it's got this emphasis on we wanted to stay true, but we want to update where we can. And it's very important that we have new visuals for as much of the Sentinels as possible. And you're going to see that. What you're seeing here is just a sampling. Here's some design work for the Black Death Destroyers, the Invid's Regent's special children from the novels. So that's another concept from both the novels and comics that have been unified, that are together. And this was some concept art for the various designs. These were done by MECHA. Great artist, does good design work. works with us to do some cool stuff. We often take his stuff and refine it further. So you can see some of the early design concepts here versus how they're currently panning out.
Oh.
So starting on the left, you have the Black Death Destroyer Shock Trooper. Then in the middle, that's the Black Death Enforcer. So that is the Regent's version of, hey, instead of making my people hot, sexy humans, let's make them bigger, meaner crab people.
Crab people, crab people. Sorry, I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
And then you've got
Huge enemy
the new
crab.
Invid Scout there, on the far right. And then this is some new Fran stuff. You saw the previous work.
Whoa!
Take a moment to
Nice.
take that all in, guys. I was hoping to have the colored versions back by now, but he's again, I mentioned the problems that we have. So take a moment in there to see we have Bela, we have Teal, we have Wolf with just I'm sorry, I can't stop looking at his crotch like he's got like a cod piece or something.
He's cocky.
He is
what
a
can you
cod
say?
piece.
But most importantly,
All right.
and we talked about this before in like wanting to visually do stuff, we have a female Peritonian for the first time up in that top corner.
Ooh. Interesting.
We have a female Baron, and a female Garun. You can't see it here because it wasn't drawn completely, but they have undershirts on. You've got Janice 2.0. You've got a semi-complete Teal. Like we gave some feedback, and these are not the final form. You got good old Tesla down there with. Can anyone else just like does that staff look wrong to anyone else? Like it's such a weird staff.
It's
Bonky
fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
and
now
to put
yes. So, by the fantastic Lee Elf, I'm going to be showing you some designs that he's done for Among the Stars in some more detail. We've hinted at these before, but let's take a look. So this is the GVF-1 Azrai, also known as the Blood Hunter. This is a Garuden-made Veritech.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
So,
Interesting.
That looks
Very
awesome.
interesting.
yeah. The idea is that this is a very small stealth, kind of before the Shadow Fighter, their best attempt to make a very stealthy mecha to support the Garudan's special forces element that serves the Sentinels coalition.
Death in small packages.
Yeah.
I love the saber extension.
Yeah, we have this thought process going on that me and Lealf go back and forth discussing of, the expectation is during this time period, you're fighting Invid, and they really like to claw your face off. So sometimes having a blade is nice.
Up close combat.
But now let's take a look at the fourth generation of Veritech fighters. So this is some more design work. I'm gonna point out that the Gamma Fighter is here on the left, and then the rightmost Gamma Fighter is the current working design, or at least the one closest to the final. And then you have its partner, the Sigma Fighter. And so this thing is really meant to be the next generation of Veritech fighter. This is what replaces the Alpha truly and the Shadow truly going into End of the Circle and beyond. You can see how much work and detail he's been putting into these designs. It's fantastic.
And I just want to point out real quick that Le Elf is actually here with us, Ian Kibler. Great stuff. And thank you for joining us tonight. Your talents are really just taking Robotech to a next level. So I'm so glad that you're part of what's to come.
Thank you. That's quite a compliment. I appreciate it.
And then we have the VF-15 also being worked on here. Take a moment to soak this bad boy in. I'm a huge fan of it. The two heads are really cool for it. And you've seen this mecha before, in comics. It actually gets snuck into a few places every now and again. And we're the first people to take a real step in developing its history, what it is, its alternate modes, and really going forth on exploring that. It did sneak into remakes, yes. So, let's talk about Void and Fire a bit more in depth. And you can see here some different schematic styled art for it. It's got different art for it, in addition to Fran's stuff. Lots of size charts to put things into perspective. Like here in this top bubble, that is every ship in existence, all laid on top of each other.
Is that going to be a poster?
Those will be charts. The poster, which is currently work in development, it's not quite ready enough to show you guys. Void and Fire contains a fold-out 4-panel poster with the deck plans for an Ikazuchi class carrier.
Damn.
Damn, son.
So Void and Fire, it is a one-off. We're not going to be producing anymore. It's in a series of it. It's purely a one-off of expanding the naval stuff. It's the dream of Thomas Ryan, who helped us out on Homefront. Great guy. And so it's a dedicated naval book, and it contains information on the lore and expanded lore for every starship from every current faction in Robotech. So this book contains UEDF from all 3 sagas. It contains Robotech Masters, Entrati, Invid, Haydenite, Sentinels. It covers all of them. All their navies.
This is 79 vessels.
Yes.
And 16, including 16 brand new.
Yes.
Oh my.
Some of them will have deck plans, some of them will have extra art, some won't. They all have massively expanded lore. They also have some more technical readout information for you as well. New stats as well for people who play the game. There's also a section in the back for actually talking about pirates and even rules for making your own pirate vessels from the
You
remains
gotta
of other
have
starships.
pirates. That's cool.
So you're saying you could take parts from all these ships and create your own?
Yes.
Nice.
Nice. Rag, a 30-gallon space pirate ship.
Exactly.
Oh,
Did someone say space pirates?
Yes.
Mhm.
Samus Aran wants to know your location.
Remember the space pirates that I think it was Leonard said, well, they're probably space pirates. Now you have space pirates.
You're welcome.
That's awesome.
Disrespectful little whelps. I'll teach ye some respect.
So then we have Arcadia, and this is actually an art piece that someone purchased while they were running a beta demo copy of Arcadia that we gave them. They purchased this art that Fran did first. We asked him to do it first. These were their player characters, and this is I think a good representation of Arcadia. For those of you with a keen eye to the background, you can see that they are wearing Academy symbols on their uniforms. As this is a Robotech Academy themed adventure. Now, Arcadia is really cool. It's an anthology of 4 mini adventures. And they're all set in 2044, couple months before the third reclamation. The first one's kind of starting like at that point where the civil war between Edwards and the Hunters is basically done, and there's just like some people who just refuse to give up. And each of these adventures, they can be played on their own or by themselves. And then of course, the other thing that's not mentioned here is that in addition to these 4 mini adventures, there's a whole chapter which details Arcadia itself. Mars Base 6, Arcadia, is a fully self-contained location. It's a full city. And here it is.
Holy.
Oh, wow.
It's a minute to take this in.
This is beautiful.
Imagine if that was actually one large spaceship.
And this will also be a fold-out map for Arcadia.
Yes.
So
The
good.
art of the underground stuff looks so like it's a live action shot.
This is
Pretty cool. I'm working with a different artist for this one, Paladin Painter, from Russia. Super, super good.
This is just great. This is
And
lovely.
the contrast from that underground forest.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it looks so
Wow.
it looks like it's like a diorama.
And all of these locations are detailed in the book.
You could just
So there's
it's an anthology of 4 adventures. The first is Olympus Drop, where the remains of a rogue ghost squadron and human radicals attempt to gain vengeance on the UEF and Mars colony by attempting to drop the orbital Mars 3 space station that many of you have probably seen or remember just appearing very briefly in the New Generation flashback at the beginning of the first episode. They attempt to drop it on the planet, and it falls to the intrepid heroes to try and stop them. If any of you have ever seen Die Hard 2, that's what you could expect.
Oh, wow.
So
Remnants is the
it's a
second.
Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I will die on that hill.
Damn Skippy it is. So Remnants is the second anthology adventure in this. The Robotech, it's all about the Robotech Masters, how their empire basically after the Second Robotech War, it kind of got fractured by all those different people who got left behind at Tyrol and all across the galaxy and had to fend for themselves against the Invid and the power shortage. And the story focuses on one specific group who call themselves the Remnants of the Empire, who have weaved this conspiracy all in a desperate attempt to go home. The problem is, home, Tyrol, is currently occupied by, to them, rebel Tyrolians and humanity. And you as students at the academy are involved in their plot. And this adventure actually takes you all the way from Arcadia. It takes you around the solar system to Jupiter colony briefly, and it even takes you directly to Tyrol. There are chapters in here where you actually get to visit some of the hinterlands of Tyrol. The third adventure is probably my favorite to run. Is called Gura. And while on a school trip to the capital of Kabara, Trisele, a mysterious jeweled egg becomes the focus of many underground groups in their quest to obtain it, and the city is engulfed in chaos. But there is more than just the underworld after this prized egg. And I won't say any more, but I think for some of you who know the lore, you might be able to guess based on the name of the adventure what's going to happen here.
Yep.
And then Awakening, this is one that I'm not going to share much information with, but it's the last one. It is, Gura actually chronologically takes place at the same time as the Battle for Reflex Point. And Awakening takes place after. And summer vacation has come around. However, a vacation to the oceanic colony of Bastia goes wrong when shadowy forces, yeah, read into that, you probably should, conspire to confront the gods themselves and instead unleash a terrible new evil on the universe.
Oops.
I look forward to seeing everyone's reactions to Awakening when you all read it. I don't think any of you will see what's coming because we dived deep into Robotech for that one.
And just kind of real quick question, you know, in terms of this is all going to be part of the Among the Stars Kickstarter,
It's all
whoever
coming out at the
pledged.
same time.
Okay. So if you pledged for this, you're getting this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. It's all coming out at the same time. This we're literally making 5 books at once. And yeah, they're all coming together. Like a lot of these supplements are kind of like we're just putting together the PDFs, and they're pretty good. It's Among the Stars itself is the core crux of what needs to happen. Like where we're waiting. Now let's talk about Uprising. And here for the first time you can see some of the other character designs. So Robotech Uprising, we worked with a new artist, Amubi, who did these characters. I'm in love with some of them. They're just fantastic. We wanted to emphasize the clear differences between Zentradi and how they visually look to humans with this new artwork. And so Uprising is a return to Macross. It is covering the Robotech Macross post stuff from the Malcontents Uprisings by Spangler and in the comics and novels. And yes, it is not only a supplement, including a lot of stuff, detailed information about the world post Reign of Death, the new countries that have cropped up, the new governments, the events of the uprisings themselves, but also massive expanded information on Zentradi to a level guarantee you have never seen before. We pulled everything. We have the Zentradi lexicon. We have the Zentradi system. We have all the genetic modifications to them. We have a true account of their history, and not the account that they falsely believe. We have information about the Zentradi and all the different separate malcontent groups that break off, many of which are listed and taken directly from the comic sources. Yes. We have information on the UEDF. We have information on the Anti-Unification League in here. Both pre and post-war. The initial information about the genesis of the Southern Cross group. All of it is covered in this book. And then, on top of that, it includes a beginner-friendly adventure, which tells the story of the last Zentradi High Lord as they attempt to escalate the uprising, to take control, and make sure the Zentradi prevail in their long-standing feud.
I'm telling you, Harmony Gold has to create a package of a full set of Malcontent Uprisings, Zentradi Rebellion, and this book, and sell it as a set.
The map that you're also looking at here is also a 4-panel map.
Wow.
This reminds me of Bill Spangler, Malcontent Uprisings.
Yep. We drew directly from Bill's work and from everyone else who touched the uprisings. You'll find references to all that stuff, all those story plot beats. We've covered again, and we've weaved in some of the newer stuff, like the Rick Hunter comic. And then we weaved in elements from the novels, and it's all covered. It's a definitive source on that. And I will point out that this book, in relation to some other things we're going to talk about, is an apology, primarily. And what I mean by that is, this book contains all the things we had to cut from the original Macross book.
Apology accepted.
Yeah, definitely apology accepted.
No need to apologize to me.
It also includes some new mecha, including the VF3 Gamma Yun. The design work you see here is done by Leof Ian Kibler. Absolutely fantastic. This is the VF3, so it is a air supremacy fighter that was originally intended to be the partner for the VF1, where the VF1 was a bit more of an air defense, fleet defense fighter. This one was meant to rule the skies. Unfortunately, it wouldn't get off the ground. It was being made in the Russian Federation when the Reign of Death happened. But that wouldn't stop it from rising from the ashes to become a penultimate mercenary and AUL independent states Veritech.
And Ian, I love, if that was your intention, of course, of combining the GU cannon, the Veritech Gatling gun, and the Alpha gun, because I see both.
Yeah, that's it. You got a keen eye. That was it was intentional. Again, I'm not writing backgrounds or anything like that, but when I do artwork, I am thinking about what, where did the Alpha's, weapon come from? Was that the first time we saw that, or could there have been an alternative design that we may have seen before? And it also kind of speaks to the technology and the idea that the weapons that these things carry have a purpose that varies between the VF1, the VF3, the Alpha, etc. So yeah, that's intentional. So good
awesome
pickup.
stuff.
Yeah, it's fantastic work. Huge fan of the VF3, and you will get Francesco art of this thing in the final product. And you will also see more of these images as well by Ian throughout the books as well. And my mouse cursor's gone. So, here is our roadmap of the future. This is what you've all been waiting for as I introduce to you the 10-year plan for the Robotech role-playing game. I will let you read this, and I will field questions at this point in time.
All right, okay. Let's do
Before
this.
I go in and explain the first couple of these.
Oh my God.
So, and they are in order. So this is the chart does follow the order of their intended release.
Ultimate
Robotech
Master.
Homefront Reloaded.
It's so bloody.
So much blood.
Oh,
Yes, I will explain the blood books in a minute. Because it's gonna rock your bloody world.
Blood of Southern Cross.
okay. I'm almost in fucking tears, man. Just
Dude, I'm like
People
on
tell-
I'm on a Kickstarter right now trying to get like
People-
back into the main
when
page.
people, I posted so many places, man. And again, the fucking, I gotta leave fucking Reddit. But when I hear people say, oh, Robotech is dead, Robotech has no fandom. Fuck you guys. Fuck them. Okay.
So long as
Fuck
I
them.
breathe, I will not
Okay.
let Robotech die. And I made that promise that we talked about at the very beginning. We wanted to leave you with a holistic product before we end our tenure of this license. And this is what that looks like.
Yeah, here I am talking about Reddit, and I'm. Are there any people from Reddit here? I gotta ask. Anybody?
Not active on the Robotech Reddit. I use it most.
Okay.
Actually, ironically, I use my Reddit account primarily for research purposes.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
lurk
on
in other forums, but not Robotech.
Yeah.
Okay. No, because I know some people. I post about the events on there, and yeah. Again, we talked about this at the beginning before we started the live. Is I get into it now with people who, try to patronize my shit. So, but all right. Yeah. Before we, I know I said part of this was going to be you feeling what's this called questions. So I did want to get to that. I want to deliver on that. So is it okay if we field questions from the room, Justin?
Let's field questions now before I go in and explain what Dragon Awakens and what the blood books are. And then we'll
Okay.
go to our After Dark stuff. That's all I have left.
Okay. Okay. Ladies first, Maura, how you doing, hun? I know you had a rough one yesterday, so you okay?
Yeah. Yesterday was crazy. I'm doing okay though. Just a little
Okay,
shook
good.
up. So
And
we were in
thank you.
lockdown yesterday for everyone.
I heard about your circumstances. I feel for you. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, it was pretty scary.
Yeah,
And
I can
Die Hard, you
imagine.
showed up here, so thank you. So you
Yeah, I
got the
gotta
link for
support.
the.
Yes, I was flipping through it as everyone was talking. So yeah, it looks gorgeous. It's beautiful.
All right. So, did you have a question for any of the stuff or any stuff that he hasn't talked about for Justin?
I don't have any questions, but I'm just applauding and appreciating you.
Thank you.
All right, let's Lewis, what you got for us?
No questions. Just wish to bow to the master of Robotech novels. You have done a good job. I can't wait to read all the books when they come out. Start saving up my money.
And you downloaded Homefront?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Please enjoy. Thank you.
Patrick Long.
I don't really have any questions. I'm eager to hear what lies ahead. So no, this is fantastic.
Jason.
Oh, what do I even ask? Is the copyright under Harmony Gold?
Yes. So, the copyright, everything we do, it all belongs to Harmony Gold, and they manage it alongside Crunchyroll now.
I'm not trying to steal the spotlight or anything. This is your moment this evening, but a friend of mine and I are writing a story at the moment, and when I saw that that VF3, that Russian Veritech, I'm like, this has to be flown by one of Roy Hunter's nemesis. And I was like, yeah, this has to be flown by his nemesis, his human nemesis, at least.
Yeah, that's awesome. And like, that is what we want. We want to show you things that inspire you to make even further stories on your own, to show you that you can go anywhere in this universe. There's so many things you can do. And I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, Roy Hunter, Rick and Lisa's son. He's the main character in my story. Ben Sterling is the second child and first and only son of Max and Miria. And thanks. And Roy's it's still on the drawing board. And please don't steal this, people. I'm hoping we can do this like an honor system way, but one of his biggest enemies is one of his old school bullies. Think every douchebag from an 80s movie rolled into one. I'm talking like Johnny Lawrence from The Karate Kid, Biff Tannen from Back to the Future. In fact, that's what we're thinking his name is going to be, John Tannen. And and he's the douchiest douchebag who ever douched, and he eventually becomes a full-blown psychopath.
That sounds great. I really hope you get some traction on it and put that together, because I'd love to read that. I love reading stuff that other fans have written. I'm just a fan myself, and like, I'm reading some other people's fan fictions right now. Some people have made some pseudo scripts for shows, and I'd love to read that. That sounds great.
Thanks. And you guys know the character Laszlo Zand, right?
Oh yes, he's going to be very important in the upcoming books.
Nice. Well, in my story, one of his associates, like the experiments they wanted to do on Dana Sterling and stuff like that.
Yep.
Well, one of the Johnny basically says, okay, oh geez, I feel like I'm revealing too much. Spoilers, everybody. Johnny basically says, okay, whatever you can do to them, do to me. And lo and behold, at some point, he eventually gets the black eyes, that Dr. Lang has. He but he basically becomes Frankenstein's monster, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
He takes off his wig, and there's like this huge neural implant sticking out of his head, and he looks at Roy menacingly, and he says, "Take the first shot, Pansy." And Roy takes the first shot, grabs his fist, starts crushing it immediately. He's like, "Ooh, boy, you need to start taking some vitamins. I could barely feel that." It's
Yeah.
But I'm getting ahead
Jason?
of myself. Yes.
Go for it. Just right. Even with the license, all that stuff is one thing, but go for it. Write your stuff and share it with the world, man.
Thank you. I
The
appreciate
world
that.
is waiting for you, my friend.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
same
that.
here.
That actually means a lot.
Yeah,
Think-
yeah, same
think-
same here. I've been
Yeah.
like kind of chomping at the bit, and Jason will probably need to talk because I have my own series of adventures centered on Roy and his like team of experts or whatever that he's handpicked. Kind of like Stargate SG-1 meets Blake 7 set in the post Sentinels continuity. But I like your ideas, and maybe we can get to talking about how we can work together.
Oh, thanks. Who's to
Yeah.
say there's not a multiverse like in the DC or Marvel universes? Who's to
Yeah.
say
I
there's not a
mean, there
multiverse?
absolutely is. I'm not touching it, but there absolutely is.
The Titan Comics hitting on that, but yeah.
In conclusion, think Johnny Lawrence, but with no redeeming qualities. That's what I was going for.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Oh, in that case, you've got the perfect bad guy Veritech for him.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's Chris, did you have any questions for Justin or Ian Kibler, who's one of the artists for the RPG?
Well, first off, I just want to say I'm struggling to find the words. This is so great. Like it's the work that you've done, the work that's ahead. I can't wait to hear more about what you've laid out for the next, like I said, I think 10 years is just fantastic. And so thank you and congratulations on some really killer stuff you got here. I did play Palladium back in the day. I haven't played it in many, many years. And then just between, getting Homefront tonight and then seeing your description, I want to start playing. So I guess Macross first to get the core rules down, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you would say? And then jump in?
So all the core rules are in Macross. That will never change even as we go to Macross Reloaded. So the only book you'll ever need to play this game is the Macross book. Everything else is just supplements to, access to more stuff based on what kind of adventure you want to run.
Cool. And I'm assuming it's kind of when I do RPG for like I run a Star Wars RPG right now. I really like writing my original stuff. It's not that I can't follow a campaign.
Yeah.
I think campaigns are cool, but I'm assuming that there's going to be enough leeway with the way the game's designed that I could do that with a group. Correct?
Oh yes.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Yes. In fact, the Blood books are we're going to talk about them in a minute. They're a coming resource for GMs and lore enthusiasts. And I'm also just going to take a moment to address that. When I talked before about Macross is your starting point, Dragon Awakens here is the last core supplement. So there are only 4 core books in this entire RPG.
Wow. Okay.
This
Awesome.
is to prevent overbloat of too many books, because the rest of these things are literally, okay, I only need to bring this one tonight with me, so I'm not carrying around like 10, 20 books in a bag. I'm only carrying the 3 I need.
I love it. I can't wait to hear more. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, always for being part of these events.
Oh.
So, Thomas Walters, did you have a question for Mr. Grulke or Mr. Kibler?
Love the new Robotech products, and just worry that do you have the license that everything published to the hands?
Yeah. We renew every 4 years. So basically, after every project is completed, essentially. Um, and we expect to be able to hold on to it to the completion of the Blood of Macross and the question mark book, which will only be revealed in the after hours section. Because that question mark book there is not a stand-in for more stuff will come. That is a final definitive product that I just have not revealed the title for. We expect to have it for that point. We have such a good relationship with Harmony Gold that they really like us, and so long as we are able to continue to turn a profit while building Robotech's image and reputation, and so long as people continue to support us, we expect to be able to do all of this to completion.
Fantastic.
And we expect to retain the license long enough to do that. Afterwards, we don't know. We'll probably give it up, or it'll depend, because we need some time to sell these books as well. So,
BT, did you have a question? Either if you want to type it out, you can type it out. We can always get back to you. Oh, there we go. Hey, and it's great that you're here tonight too. So, Geith, Geith is the president of the Robotech poll voting association in the Kingdom of Jordan.
What can I say? It's just I'm not an RPG guy, but it's been interesting listening to let's say the lore and the universe expansion that's going on. But what I wanted to ask is, do you think that any of the, let's say, the characters, lore, or mecha, or anything from this would work its way back into Harmony Gold's other products, let's say comics or something like that?
we're hoping so. We're talking with Harmony Gold about more cross collaboration because we really want to do that. We've been trying for a while to get a good cross collaboration going between multiple different license holders, particularly Titan. Everything that we write, they own, so hopefully they'll use it at some point.
Okay. And if they do plan on something like that, do you think you've got enough, let's say, material or stories to, let's say, to tell stories rather than have characters and lore for gaming?
Yes, is the short answer to that.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, that's
I
just what
have
I'm
more
wondering,
than
because
I have more lore for storytelling than what they want.
okay. Yeah, I expected it, you probably would have, because I've been
You
looking
guys
through the
hadn't
book
noticed,
and
I don't do anything by half measures.
He does not. He
No.
does not.
And Geith, you did get my message about your package.
Yeah, thank you so much, John. I mean,
Thank
yeah,
you for your patience.
thanks. No. Thank you.
Okay, for someone from across the border from here, Francois. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. What questions do you have for either Ian or what's this called for Ian and Justin? You there, Francois?
I did see that Francois has a
Got it now.
Oh, okay. Hey, Francois.
Sorry, Justin, you were saying?
Oh, sorry, I was just seeing that you had a question in the chat.
Yeah, it's not a question. Well, it could be. I I didn't want to reveal too much before the end, but I was just gonna say that I'm blown away by the roadmap that you have given us, and it's really interesting for the future. I have a 12-year-old son, as you may know, so I'm getting him into Robotech in the last few months. This is crazy good for us. This is really something that I'm looking forward for you to explain.
I look forward to explaining it. To your question in the chat, yes, you're
That's what
gonna
I
get into
thought.
the circle stuff.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought. Which is great news because it's uncharted territory,
Yeah.
and for the RPG, I mean, um, God bless you,
We're-
Justin and Ian. Uh, End of the Circle is something of a holy grail. So let's see how we get to that.
Yeah, we have to make some adjustments for Shadow Chronicles because we have to make it conform
Of
to
course.
current canonicity. But it's something that you'll get in some form or another eventually.
If
Yeah.
I may, Justin,
You
if I
may,
could just
Alex.
add, yeah, I look, I might as well throw this out here. I think that, since we've talked about it, I've actually been working on the End of the Circle material just this week. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm an unashamed fan of the book. I wanted to have End of the Circle material, and I am doing what I can to integrate End of the Circle and Shadow Chronicles while expanding both, while sort of like Justin said, this building this broader, greater universe. And so I don't just want it to be about here's the events of the novels, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously we want that, but also to put in the opportunities for players and game masters to use all this wonderful material and to build stories and adventures out of that.
And you guys have delivered solidly for the last 3-4 years. So we're obviously looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Too, as fellow fans.
Mr. Mark Hemingway, did you have a question for our guest tonight?
No questions, but I just want to thank for the presentation. And I was eyeballing the $60 package for the backer pledge kit for all the PDFs of this whole thing, and I'm actually currently purchasing that right now. So definitely grabbing that up. That's a great deal, and this is so much material. I love it. So I'm just anxious to hear what's coming.
That's awesome. See, all the things that result. We're bringing in younger fans. We're getting people to purchase the PDFs. We're giving away PDFs. I got to say, this has been, next to the Golden Globals, this has been the best live event I've done. So thank you guys. I don't want to miss anyone here. So I'm looking.
I saw
Lewis Green. Lewis Green. Did you have a question for our guest tonight? Oh, that's okay. If you want to type it in, that's fine.
I think I also saw Ian raise his hand a bit ago. I think he had a question.
Oh, okay. All right, type it in and okay. That's fine, Lewis. Lewis, I just put a link for you to I don't know if you saw it before, but it's a link to download Robotech Homefront RPG book as a thanks for joining us tonight. So okay, Ian, sorry I missed you, and then I'll get to Brian after
No,
you.
that's all right. Yeah, I had my hand up the whole, for a while there. I was wondering when you were, if someone was going to notice me, but that's
I did notice you. I just didn't want to interrupt.
It's fine. No, Justin, it's cool. No, you kind of already answered this sort of already, but you were talking about like material you had for stories and things like that. I know that like a lot of there are actually some role-playing games that are out there that have novels. You've got like Dungeons and Dragons has had novels written based on their universe. Warhammer 40K has had lots and lots of books based on them written. So are there plans, or do you intend to do anything like that for the role-playing game or anything like that, or does that all have to be run by Harmony Gold first before you do anything? Because I would love to work on some of those, because like Jason and I, we both
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I would love to write novels. I would love to write some novels to accompany what you're going to see in Dragon Awakens specifically. It's not within our license though, which means we have to pair up and collaborate with the people who do have the license to publish novels and comics and stuff. We would love for people to adapt some of the story content that we've developed. Absolutely love it. I personal bias, mostly because I'm just a fan myself. Personal bias, I think we've written some amazing stories into our books that could be fleshed out into amazing products themselves. Um, so I would love to do that, but it's not within our license to do it, so it would require someone else to come to the table and be like, "We will work with you." Because we don't have that license and we can't buy that license because someone else already holds it exclusively.
Also known
Okay.
as Titan Books.
It's exclusive to our knowledge. We're not sure.
Well, with the shoddy job that they did on the books, I don't know why they have the license. So, but that's a different conversation.
Lowest bidder.
No, the where Min May opened up her.
Oh God, yeah.
It didn't say arms; it said something else. So,
So many text errors and such. I know exactly how you feel. I've and in some of the work I do for Justin, I have to rely on some very, very questionable sources is the best way to put it. So I know exactly how you feel.
Mr. Brian 3D, my wingman.
I'm still processing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still processing.
About to make your head
But
swell with what's going to happen next.
so the one thing I would ask, and it's probably it's for a link to where everything can be found. I got it on the Kickstarter, but besides me or other fans who may not know where to go to find the books, the PDFs, the Kickstart.
Right. Okay. I can't do that at the moment because I'm screen sharing, but I'll work with
Yeah,
TNT to make sure that there are links
I'll
and stuff
post
out
Pop it
there.
in the chat. Pop it in the chat.
Yeah, or we can yeah, I can post them on the pages and everything. We'll get that all for you.
I've got the link to the Kickstart. I can keep looking at as you're going through all this. I'm over here looking at the Kickstart, going, "All right, I need to find another $500." uh, it's just too much good material in there. I mean, absolutely. And I'm like, okay, well, wait, I know where to go, but does anyone? How many of the fans might not know?
Yeah.
Then I'm going,
Yeah.
okay, how can we get models? Because all the new mech, even the characters. I mean, just having the models, the mech models, and oh god, I know it'd be
Brian,
third party, but
you're making a really good point because I see it all the time, and every time I do, I bring it to Justin's and the team's attention that there are people on the Facebook pages that see this stuff for the first time. I think we all take it for granted that we know what's going on and that these things are available, but there's a lot of people that don't. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but like, you know, the franchise isn't being well advertised in general. And so it's really much up to us, the fans, to get that word out and at every venue, right? All the social medias, support people who are supporting the product, support the people who are, you know, making these books, you know, when they're posting things online. Shameless plug. I recently started my own quote unquote studio to try to do the things that you're talking about, to get the word out that these products are out there and that there's a great team of people that are putting their blood, sweat, and tears into this every single day. I can't kid you not. There's a lot of people that don't know, and it's kind of a shame.
That's why we're also working
something?
quite heavily with our distributors at Amazon. They're kind of going through a bit of a problem right now, but when they're fixed, we hope to they'll be pushing it real hard.
And I was going to reach out, ask you to speak, Ian, because you're always so profound with how you go through with your work and how that pride in your work. It's always been something. And yeah, I have to, part of this 40th anniversary celebration is celebrating the people, that other fans that are celebrating it in their way. So for sure, your Facebook page, it'll be showcased on all my spaces. So well, but all right, did I miss anyone here?
Are there any other questions before we proceed to blow you
Yeah,
away?
that's
Okay. Is it too soon to go to the after party?
I'm going to show you some quick summaries, just so it's publicly out there what a couple of the concepts of what's coming is, and then in our After Dark, I'm going to explain to you in depth what these things are.
Oh God, I'm not going to survive the weekend.
There. All right. So, all right, Justin.
All right.
Let's take it home. Let's take it home for the live feed.
Let's go to Robotech, The Dragon Awakens. The Dragon Awakens is a brand new RPG. It is the last core supplement planned. So there will be 4 core books. It is the largest book in the core series. It will be bigger than Homefront. It will be bigger than Among the Stars. It contains 6 new factions/groups and 3 new aliens. Or sorry, 3 more aliens from existing Robotech lore. It contains 2 new sagas. Original new Robotech materials. You will see the return of concepts like the EBSIS, but in the form of the independent states. You will see the human-on-human conflict in the world after the Reign of Death. You will see the Army of the Southern Cross at its peak before the Masters Saga in its attempts to restore order. You will go in Dragon Awakens beyond the local group, beyond potentially the time periods here, and what's more, you will learn what the flower of life actually is. In addition, that's just some of the lore stuff.
I need an emoji for a head blow.
You will have rules exploring mercenaries and human corporations and over 200 upgrades for customizing Robotech MECHA.
I think the entire left side of my body just went numb.
Mic drop.
Organized into a catalog with optional rules so you can buy them in game. And the timeline for Dragon Awakens goes from 1995 to beyond 2045 and beyond the events of the end of the circle. It goes to the furthest point in the timeline anyone in Robotech has ever gone.
Oh my stars and garters.
But wait, there's more.
This sounds like a sales pitch.
Yeah, that's still Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
There's going to be
Wait,
some
there's
interim
one
books
more.
that we're going to do. These are small story adventures. We're not going to really do many more adventures coming by themselves that are just adventures alone. But we will do a few. They're going to be PDF books. They're not going to have a physical release. But they're going to be $20 PDF books. And then there's the blood books, which will give you Ultimate Maya Trisele here.
What the heck is that?
That is the capital of Kabara.
Oh, nice.
The blood books. As you saw, there are many of them planned. And so the first question I'm going to answer, of course, is what the hell is a blood book? And what the hell does it mean? They are the largest, most ambitious products ever conceived for the Robotech RPG. Each one is so large, they're split into 2 volumes. Volume 1 of each Blood book will be a brand new adventure, showcasing something new about the universe. They have really deep stories and NPCs that we've written with a lot of love and care that show you just what you can do in the universe, and they really aim to explore leftover plot points abandoned by novels, books, and the show.
Nice.
Volume 2 of each Blood book is a world-building appendix. We're talking location information, people who live there, their way of life, their food, how they live, the conflicts in the region. To give you an example, the Blood of Resistance covers Earth specifically in 2042, the week Scott arrives. So all the lore information in there is set at that exact time point. So you can open it up. You can go to the town. It's in there. I don't want to say its name, but you can go to the town from the novels. Also, the town. It's from the episode where Lunk is delivering the book to his friend Nada, his father. And there is a stat block, and there is a lore summary of everything you need to know about Pedro. Produce Pedro! That is the level of detail we are talking with these Blood books.
And yeah.
Full history. Will you give us a history of Alfred Nader?
Yes, Alfred Nader.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So they are a definitive information for the World Guide to Robotech that a GM or just a fan can open up. As a fan, you will read it, and you will be overwhelmed by the level of information.
It's
and
the
depth
Robotech version of Britannica.
Yes. Sort of.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And as a GM, you'll be able to pull out the appropriate volume of the Blood book you need and go, all right, I didn't have anything prepared today, or I kind of got something half prepared. The players are going to go to this place. I'm just going to open up the book here. Okay, so I know immediately what is in the town of Greystone. What is in the town that Scott goes to where they rob the Protoculture Reservoir, the Norristown
Norristown.
Reservoir. And here's a map of the Norristown Reservoir's fortress and a detail of all the various traps in it. That is what you're looking at. And per that roadmap, you're looking at various Blood books covering various time periods for different sagas.
That's what I keep talking about, the spin-offs. This is it.
This is it. This is the ultimate evolution of that concept. So, this is what you can expect from the Blood of Mars. This is the first of the Blood books that will come your way. It explores the colonies in 2038, 6 months before the 10th Mars Division and Lancer go to Earth. It is the adventure portion is the story of desperate revenge, political intrigue, and corporate conspiracy that show the true colors of the colonies and the cost of keeping mankind alive in the far reaches of space. Volume 2, the world building section, has a world building index set in 2038, which features all of the locations you see listed there. Mars colony, lunar colony in Earth orbit, Venus colony, Jupiter colony, the asteroid belt and the places in there, the outer solar system and the planets that are colonized there, the Albion colony, Bastia colony, Bartus 2, Space Station Liberty, Tyrol, Hesslian, which is a Tyrolean planet that's got some human stuff going on, Emancipation, which is another human colony. There's actually another one in here, because there's 14 appendixes in Blood of Mars that I've forgotten. Then there's the Blood of Resistance. This is set in 2042, days after Scott's arrival. Volume 1, The Adventure, follows a different unit of the 21st Mars Division and the UES Indianapolis, which you guys can find reference in Homefront, as they make their own journey from the continent of Africa to Reflex Point, going up through North Africa and across through the Mediterranean and across the Atlantic. And it covers the North American Rockies. You will find rules and information in there for Dusty Airs, for the characters of Robotech Invasion, the video game, the people from the Malcontent comics and the Invid War comics. You will find information on the Splinters, Becca Cade, what happened to Carpenter, and the Splinters. You will find all that information. You'll have information on Reflex Point, detailed information on New York, former Venezuela, Southeast Asia, but also all these other information about what's happening in the rest of the world in detail, in what's left of North Africa, what's in the Atlantic Ocean, what's in the Central Americas, what's in Volgograd. You will have all of that in this book, in The Blood of Resistance. And then
I love the picture. It's from the episode Big Apple.
yes. This is a really fun one that Fran did. I liked it. And then the last of the first 3 blood books that you'll get before we do Reloaded, and that's not a concern right now. That's mostly just like we're gonna clean up the wording and insert and fix up some issues with the older books. This is Blood of Earth, and it examines the world in 2045, 9 months after the end of the show. So it is
Good
now we
Lord.
are beyond the timeline. Volume 1 and the Adventure covers the story of mercenaries going back to Earth on behalf of colonies and seeking to take advantage of it in amongst the chaos that's happening there on the planet as it tries to heal and recover, and people put the last war behind them. Volume 2 covers much of the world post-Invid, and we go to locations such as Belmont, we go to Corsica, we go to the Kingdom of Poland, we go to the former Nordic Alliance, we go to Neo-Tokyo after the Invid have left. We're going to Reflex Point's ruins, we're going to the Florida Hell Gardens, we're going to the South Pacific, to Australia, to Antarctica, we're going to all these places. And you will find detailed chapters covering every single one of them. That
Okay.
is where I have to leave you guys now.
Good reminder.
So I will now field any last questions you have on what I just threw at you like a ton of bricks.
Okay.
You just dropped a space station on us. That's what you did.
Yeah, you dropped a whole
Yeah, you
colony
did.
on us.
If you could see some of the faces, Justin, on all of us, we've been hanging on every word.
Yeah, I had to put a Ben's face there to relay that.
Oh my God.
Lewis Green had a question. Will both books be on the same Kickstarter?
So in terms of how this is gonna release, we have the Among the Stars Kickstarter right now, and then our next Kickstarter, once those are out and been out for like a couple months, we'll go to our next Kickstarter, which will be Dragon Awakens, and then the 3 blood books I just showed you.
Eat Mother Jesus.
And then the next one after that will be the Macross and Homefront Reloaded, and the last 4 blood books.
Okay. How do you get Void and Fire hard copy?
You need to go. You'll either wait for its release when we release it eventually, or on your on the Kickstarter page, what you can do, you pick a backer level, and then you can go to add-ons, and you can scroll down, and you can find Void and Fire hard copy. And you can add that.
I already did Among the Stars with the PDF. Which one it was? I got the hardback of Among the Stars, and I got one or two add-ons with it.
Yeah, so every option that you saw on the Kickstarter, that's currently up. In the Pledge Manager has options that you can add. All of them are available separately as add-ons, so that you can customize your order to get just the books you want or need. Yep, about 6 years worth of content is incoming. And the best part that I haven't even talked about is Dragon Awakens, and 2 of those 3 Blood books. They're about 50% done, if not more.
I never figured I'd have to get an Uber job just to get Robotech.
I'd like to remind you all that I don't sleep. All I do is work.
I'll just add, Justin has a habit of messaging me at 11 o'clock with his latest idea. It's 11 o'clock at night, by the way.
Oh, man.
Cola, brought to you by The Flower.
Justin, you're going to have a burnout if you keep on going 24/7.
Oh.
Easy.
It's a new energy drink.
Stop sharing for right now.
I'm gonna leave this up.
Well,
we'll be
I don't know how I'm gonna follow this, but I do have an announcement of my own for the After Dark.
Oh
section.
yes. I'm gonna stop sharing. So because we'll do yours first.
How am I supposed to follow this, man?
John, it's not following. It's complimentary.
I'm sitting
One
here.
step at a time.
I'm sitting here, and my jaw's dropping with each and every revelation. I'm like,
yep,
yeah. And then I'm thinking about.
You gotta admit, we just had a trickle of Robotech over the decades, and then we had some more things come in, like some board games and stuff, and now this is just an incredible amount. It just revitalizes the whole thing to me. I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
again,
this is my
when
plan.
I hear
I'm gonna
about
hit you with a brick of Robotech.
Justin must be part machine.
It's again, to those that are watching this afterwards, when I hear about, oh, Robotech is dead, fandom's dead, tonight has disproven all that, because we delivered. People clamor, more Robotech, more Sentinels, new Robotech. We've been doing this for 2 hours, and we got all that. And this is I don't want to say anymore because I'll get emotional, because it's, for me, it's to be able to witness all this stuff, and to be able to host events like this, and be able to showcase so much talent, whether it's with Justin, with Ian, and it's all right, so Justin, thank you so much for being part of this live event. It is incredible. We're gonna again, you are taking Robotech to new heights and the greatest leap forwards for this franchise, not just in gaming, but also lore and storytelling. And I can't add anything else. I've been sitting here for the last hour just watching your. It's been an amazing night. I hope everybody that's been part here in the room has enjoyed this, and those that are people that have been watching on the simulcast on Facebook, which it has worked. It has been out there. I hope, I know somebody, Lewis Green, decided to come in. It's like, hey, I'm glad that you're here and you're able to catch what's after this, our Robotech After Dark. And maybe it might be the first of many Robotech After Dark sessions where we just, reveal and talk about stuff, but okay, that's enough for me. I want to thank everybody who's been watching this, again, through the simulcast or who are watching it afterwards, with YouTube. The live stream's ending now, and I hope you can join us for the next one, which we'll be announcing real soon. So until then, much love, kick ass, stay humble. Here comes Robotech After Dark.